Good evening. Good evening, conscious creators. Welcome well, it's Friday. Welcome to the Friday evening session of the Conscious Creators Toolbox. Turn some things down right here. Get some sound going here. Anyway, welcome to tonight's session of the Conscious Creators Toolbox. It's Friday, March the what is it? March the 31st, the last day of March. Marched right on out of here. Anyway, welcome, welcome to this session. It actually is the final session for March, and we're doing this series on your superpower desire. And tonight is the final session on that series. Got some stuff for you tonight. But before I start, I just want to kind of say welcome to our channel. Welcome to our YouTube channel. Kind of excited about growing this little project, this little baby. So if you have not registered or subscribed to our channel, gotta invite you to do that. Somewhere on your screen, you might see that red button that says a red and white button that says subscribe, and ask you to subscribe to our channel. And while you're there, while you're here, give it a thumbs up or a thumbs down, whichever case you might be. Just let us know that you were there. Hopefully, we'll get some thumbs up. But if not, take attention to those thumbs down as well to see if we can make it better. Get some thumbs up. But anyway, if you're so inclined, leave us a remark, leave us some comments, let us know how we're doing, and if there's a creative power or creative ability or something about creativity you want us to kind of dive in for you and to kind of produce a little bit more information on or about, just leave that comment and we will be happy to do some research and share some of what we find out, some of our understanding about the topic. Because the Conscious Creators Toolbox, basically, we're here to explore, identify and explore our creativity, our creative powers, our abilities, and take them out of the toolbox and fine tune them. Any tool at all that you have in your house and at your disposal. It benefits you to know how to operate it, how to use it, what it's for, how to use it properly. We can always use those tools incorrectly. I'm known to use the wrong tool for the wrong job, and there's something else we can help you maybe delve into and get an understanding about how to use the right tool for the right job, the right project that you're working on. I know we're always manifesting, we're always creating, and we're always using our creativity, whether we know about it, whether we're aware of it, awakened and aware and conscious of it, or whether we just do it by default. Absolutely every breath that we take and every move that we make, we're in the process of manifesting something. Absolutely something we're manifesting. And you can look at your life. You can look at your life and you be the judge. I'm not going to judge. You be the judge. Look at your life and you determine how you're using your creativity. Are you using it to create what you want? Or are you just settling with what you accidentally or by default create and bring into your reality? If you are not satisfied with your life in any area, absolutely any area, because every single area, everything about you had some part in bring it into your experience. So if there's any part of your life that you are unhappy with, dissatisfied with, let me just advise you right here as a life coach, as a co-creator, as another human being, you can do better. If you so desire, you can make and create and bring into your existence, into your reality, what you want, what you like, what you want to enjoy, what you desire, if you would. Or you can just settle. You can settle for what you accidentally or by default bring in. And we can help you with that. We can help you to Conscious Creators Toolbox. If you come join us and listen in to us, you hopefully we can help you identify maybe some of the tools that you may be misusing or not using or using improperly or whatever the case may be. Anyway, I'm going to apologize tonight. I've got some out of town guests, the little ones, the wee ones, and they're upstairs, so you may hear some trampling overhead. But excuse us for that. we are known for creating our family here. So we're growing, and we're growing by numbers, because I think we've got a couple of mummies to be on the way, mamas to be in the making. So we're always growing. So we apologize for the noise that they make, but you know what? You know we're live and we're well when you hear them running and being happy up there. So anyway, before I before I get into tonight's session, I will like to say stick around to the end, or come back later and listen to the video again for the end, because at the very end of the session tonight, I want to make an announcement in regards to what we are manifesting. Team Conscious Creators is in the process of manifesting, and I want to share that with you and invite you to be a part of that project as well. So without further ado, let me remind you, I have to always do this. I can't go home without it. And that is to remind you who, what, and whose you are. And of course, you know that you are a co-creator. You're creator, and you know that you are a created being. You know that you didn't bring yourself up in here by yourself. Okay, what you're doing it. You're in charge of that now that you're here. But let me say that you are a co-creator with the universe, and you're created by your creator, your source, your maker, your God, your father, your divine, whatever you call your source, whatever you consider to be your creator, you were created by that source. And you were created out of the same stuff that your creator and your source, your father, your powers to be, your I am is created from. And you can do, and you can have, and you can be all that your creator can have and do and be. Your creator withholds nothing from you. Absolutely nothing. You are his child. You inherit everything that the father is also yours. And all that father can do is to you are available, it's available for you to do as well. So whatever you believe about your father, whatever you believe about your father, your creator, your maker, understand that you have the same. You are father, you are your father's child, and you inherit your father. Just like you inherit your earthly father's uh, legacies and things, so is it's the case with your heavenly and your creative power, your creator. All right, you are have the same thing, same power, same source, same source energy is available to you, that your source and your creator has. You're only limited by your beliefs of your father and your creator, whatever it is. If you believe that your father can do this, you can do that. If you can do that, you can also do it. You are only limited and restricted. That's your only restriction, is what you believe of your father and your maker. My father, also yours, because we are one. We have one father. I don't care what name you give him. We all one, and we are one. One God, many names, many names, many names, but one God. And we are my father. Our father can do all things. I there's nothing that my creator, my maker, my source cannot do. Absolutely everything, even the impossible things, even the impossible things, my father, my creator, my source can do. And so can yours, because as I said, we are, we are many, we can call Father by many names, but we're it's one God, one family, and we're all brothers and sisters of the same Father. All right, the same Creator. All right, so that's who you are. That's what we do here on Thursday, usually Thursday night. We just happen to be here on Friday because of out of town guests that we have in the house. So we're here tonight. We're here tonight instead. So that's what we do. That's what we do here. That's why we're here. So run out and get your tool, that desire, out the tool shed, and bring it on back up in here. And let's finish up this session, this last session, this final session tonight, and get on with it. So tonight's vital session, the very last session of tonight, we've had, I think this is the fourth session, and we're talking tonight about the source, the source of our creative power, desire. All right, that's going to be what we're going to be discussing tonight. We talked about, what it was. We talked about if it's, how we use it. We talked about how we use it to create, and how we use it to manifest and bring into our realities. How we use it, and we talked a little bit about, how we misuse it. We talked a little bit about, I think I shared a little bit about um, Neville Goddard's kind of forewarning us or giving us in a little bit of advice and advising us not to put conditions on that desire once we receive it from our source, from our source. All right. So and we talked a little bit about that. So tonight we're just gonna kind of hone in on. We're gonna focus on the source itself. What is the source? Everything comes from somewhere, comes from somewhere and some source. And tonight we're gonna kind of delve into that. But I want to kind of do a little quick review because bring you up to par because we missed last week, and I hope that you got to tune in and listen and check in with Jay Johnson, our crystallist. I call it a crystallist. Anyway, our crystal expert, our crystal um, expert. I hope you I got a chance to listen to her session last week. If you did not, you can pick that up on our YouTube channel as well. I think we've already downloaded that session. You can't find it on our Facebook page or wherever. You can find it there on our YouTube channel. So if you didn't hear her, check her out because she gave you some great information about how you can use your crystals, and how valuable they are with you, helping you keep your energy stirred up and grounded, or whatever it is, opened up, whatever it is that you need to do. She kind of gave you some information about how to use those crystals. And I think she was talking about manifestation last week, using those manifestation crystals. And there's quite a few of them. There's quite a few. And I tuned in and I listened to her, and I've already started pulling those out because we're getting ready to manifest, some serious manifest. I'm going to focus on some directing, some energy for manifestation. So we need all the help we can get. Okay. So anyway, let's do a quick review on what we talked about this in the previous 3 sessions. The first, very first, and I always do this. I always define or give you a definition of a description of what that particular tool is that we're talking about. And we defined desire. The very first session, we talked about what it was, what the Webster Dictionary said it was. We talked about what various spiritual guides said it was. We talked about what the Bible and the divine word of God said it was in the Holy Scriptures, the Bible. We talked about that. And basically, if you can recall, we said that basically desiring is basically all it is wanting. It is a state of wanting or needing something or wanting to bring something into your experience that you don't already have. All right. So if we don't want something that we've got, right? We don't have to worry about fretting about waiting for something that we already have. So desiring is wanting something that we don't currently have in our possession or in our experience or in our reality or in our life at the present time. So that definition itself and what it is all about. And of course, we're talking about desiring. Desiring is an act. It's a feeling. It's a state of being. It's a change of consciousness, of awareness. You are aware. You are aware that you want. You're aware that you are in need of things, and sometimes you're not aware. You don't pay attention to it. You don't pay attention sometimes of some of the things that you need or your body's wanting, or your body's craving, or you need. Like for instance, you probably don't even think about needing air, but I guarantee you, your body is desiring air, desiring that oxygen to come in. That your body is desiring the sunlight, whether you give it to it or not. Your body is desiring water, moisture, to be refreshed with water. Your body has its own set of desires outside of you being worried about it. Your body's gonna desire it, and guess what? It knows how to manifest it and bring it to you because we have fairly decent air most of the time. I know we check the quality of air, and you could probably do better. Hopefully, we're monitoring those activities that keep our air and our water clean and available and fresh and available for our desiring bodies. Okay, so we can desire and aware that we are desiring because I desire to have you join me on Thursdays for the sessions. That's one of my desires. So I can, you know, mentally and emotionally express my desire, but the object of the desire is the thing that I want to bring into my existence, the situation the circumstance that I want to change and bring it into my experience. All right. So the object is the thing desired, but the act of desiring is the wanting, the wanting and the wishing that I have something. And we talked about if it's indeed a creative power. Well, of course it is. Because if you did not desire it, right? If you didn't desire it, it would never, you would never cause that object or whatever that you didn't desire to come into your existence. Just the fact that you desire something that you don't already have, in order to get it, you have to it has to be manifested into you. You have to make a change. Anytime we make a change, any change at all is considered created, okay? A creation, something that's created. If we keep things status quo and just like they are, then there's no creation. We're just here. We're just existing. We're just being. All right, and we're not just always being. We're beings that create and manifest and desire and talk and speak and eat. We do things. We act. We create. We create. All right, and we manifest. That's what we do. So, yes, it is a creative power. Somewhere in our beingness, and I don't know if it's in our physical being or if it's somewhere in the ethers of our spiritual being or that unseen part of our being, but there is there's a desire, there's a wanting, a, an event that happens that raises that desire in us or deposited in us that gives us that causes us causes us to have a thought, and that thought is, ah, I want, I desire, I dream, I wish I had those things. Those that desire comes in and it raises up into us an opportunity for us to formulate a thought in our mind about it. And as soon as we get that thought clear enough, we start verbalizing it and we start talking about what we wish we had, what we desire. We talk about it. And then, because again, we're creators and we're creating this desire, these words, these thoughts that we're putting out there, we start acting and behaving in a way that changes what we don't see, what we don't have, what we don't experience now into that object of whatever it is or was that we desired. All right. That's creation. That's creativity. That's creativity. So it's all part of that process of manifesting and creation. All right. We talked also about like I said, we kind of got with my guru, Neville Goddard, and Neville Goddard called our desire a seed. Remember, we talked about the seed. We said that it's a seed that is, once we plant it or once it drops into our consciousness, into that fertile ground of our consciousness, then that's where it starts germinating and becoming that desire, growing into that desire that object that we're desiring, that we're wanting. So Neville said that it's a seed. He called it a seed. He said that when we receive the desire and we receive it with thanksgiving and gratitude and thankful, knowing that the seed comes fully packed with everything it needs, just like a corn seed. If we dropped it in the ground, it would grow into a stalk and corn would, so everything that's needed to grow that desire, that seed, once it's in our consciousness and our awareness, it starts germinating into the object of the desire. Everything is needed. Everything that is needed to produce it from the seed to the object of our desire is already built into the desire. So we get that. All we got to do is just receive it with gratitude and thanksgiving and begin to just be confident to know that it's a seed, baby, and that seed got everything it needs. So it's going to grow into my desired object, whatever it is. So we talked a little bit about that. We also remember, we also talked about, Neville warned us about conditioning that seed, taking that seed and all of a sudden, we dropped it into our consciousness and it's not happening right away, or it's not happening as fast as we would like for it to happen. We start doubting, and then we start readjusting the original desire. We start changing it. We want this new, we want to go on a camping trip next month. And as soon as we dropped it in our consciousness, instead of receiving it with gratitude, Neville warned us that be careful. Don't condition it. Don't start conditioning and say, well, maybe, okay, I want to go camping. Oh my goodness. I'm going camping. I'm going to need blah, 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 blah. I'm going to need all these things. Oh my goodness, how am I going to get them? And I got to make sure that I get, we start acting like we know all things that seed knows and has in it already, and we don't. We don't. So Neville warns us about conditioning our desires. So be mindful of that and be cautious of that. So that's what we talked about the first 3 sessions. So tonight we are moving on to the actual source. What is the source? What is the source of your desire? I think that I remember, if I can remember correctly, I think I shared, and I believe it was Neville. One of the things that I really, really, really appreciate about Neville Goddard is his use of the scriptures. He's kind of like me. He grew up in a Christian. I think he was, well, he was a Christian, so he went to Bible school, Bible study. So he was taught the scriptures and taught the Bible, and like I was. So he uses the scriptures to parallel who and what and how we do. I mean, how we are who we are, and why we are who we are, and how to be better at who we are. He uses the scriptures, and he actually, and the way he uses them, they resonate with me. They really truly resonate with me. So I can get a clearer understanding, because I mean, I've heard all these scriptures probably, I don't know, umpteen times, since I was a little girl growing up, and hearing those stories in Bibles, Sunday school, Bibles, vacation, all the schools, teaching us the Word of God. So hearing him use them in just in just helping me make sense out of the magic that I thought it was when I was growing up. I thought, wow, it sounds pretty cool. Like water, and you can change water to wine, and you can, raise people from the dead, and you can heal sick folk and make people walk and give people their eyesight back, and you can go pull money out of a fish's mouth, whatever. I was kind of like all odd with all those things. I said, I want to do some of that stuff too. Yeah, I can do that too. I want to be the hero. And little did I know that absolutely all of those things that was taught to us, that was done by the miracle man, Jesus, we can also do them. We can do them too. Yeah. And in fact, Jesus told us that in the Bible. He said, what I do, you can do. In fact, you can do more than I can do. Okay. So, so Neville's use of the scripture helps me really bring that home to me, bring that home to this old lady now that I'm a grown up. When I was a little girl, it was wonderful fairy tales or wonderful wannabes or wishes that I could be or do that. But now I know that I can. I know I can. And I love that. I love that about Neville. So what Neville pointed out and reminded me of a scripture, and I believe it was from the Psalms. He said that the desires, our desires, God gives us the desires of our heart. So our desires is a gift from God, from our maker, from our source, from God. So I'm going to start there. I'm going to start there because God is more than a God. Again, whatever you call your source, your creator, Jehovah, I don't, whatever you call him, whatever name you give to God, that is the giver of your desire. All right. That's the source of it. Now, he's not some bearded man that's sitting up high in a sky on a with in a gold plated throne sitting on a cloud. That's not God. God is energy. God is source. God is life. God is love. God is all of the intangible, but the very tangible of our existence, of our being. All right. So, where does our original desire come from? It is from the source. It is from the source. And as Neville said, that desire is sometimes it looks like he calls it a seed. Remember, and it's also a desire is also considered passion. And Tina Marie and Rick James would call it high fire and passion. Is what they call desire when they sing it about it. But where or what is the source? The source of that seed. We don't see it. We don't. It's an invisible seed. It's an invisible something that is transported to us from the source. How in the world does that happen? How does that happen? All right. Well, in order to truly desire, now I'm using the word truly desire. I'm going to bring that in. I'm going to remind you that you're hearing the word truly, because we do desire sometimes that they're not really desires. But when we truly desire, in order to truly desire, we must be connected to the power source of desire. We will never, ever truly receive a desire. It will not be a true desire unless we are connected to the source, to the power source, to our source, to God's source, to divine source, to energy source, to that desire source. All right. And what is that? What is that source? What is that source? What is that power? What is that energy? Well, and it's just in plain old lay terms, without any fringes on it or putting any no decorating it. It's life. That's simply life. It's life, the energy, life itself. It is your very being, your very beingness, if you would. That is the source. And you cannot not be connected to the power source, the main source, whatever that source is that you consider. You are forever connected to it, forever and always connected to it. You cannot not be connected to it. It's just how it is. That's life, you have breath, you have your being. If you have being, you are connected to source. Whether you exist, whether you acknowledge it, whether you stop to even be awed by it, to even think about it. But if you were ever disconnected from your source, think about a light. Think about your light. If you unplug your lamp from the power source on the wall, once you unplug it, ain't no juice going into that light, into that cord that's going to light that bulb anymore. Mm-mm. So as long as you have existence and as long as you have beingness, you are connected to source. You are connected to source. And that source is the source of any and all of your creativity, your life, your love, your beingness, everything about your beingness, your consciousness, your awareness, your unconsciousness, your unawareness. All of that is because you are connected. All right. So the source itself, you have it. Whether you acknowledge it, whether you receive it with joy and gratitude and understanding, you have it. You have it. The thing is, and I'm not going to talk too much about this tonight, but I do want to point it out. It is once you receive it into your consciousness, into your awareness, into that fertile awareness, that fertile consciousness, that fertile, ready to receive consciousness, is when you begin to appreciate and can take advantage of the manifestation of, or the germination of, that desire turning into whatever the object is of your desire, right? And people say, well, what happens when I don't get what I want? I don't, whatever. Then there's one or two things can happen. It's not because you're not connected, because I guarantee you are connected. As long as you have your being, you're connected. So what might be happening is maybe your consciousness, maybe you're not as aware or conscious or awakened to the to receive it, right? Because all you have to do, it's all you have to do is desire it, drop it into your fertile consciousness, your fertile awareness, and it's gonna grow. It's gonna produce. It ain't not gonna produce, because that's what it's gonna do. It's a seed, and it was given by the Source Almighty. So guess what? He don't make no duds. I know. Sometimes I'll get a pack of seeds and I'll look at them and be holding it, and I can't plant that. It's not gonna grow. No, your seed that's given to you by your source is fertile and it's ready to go. It don't have no holes in it. It don't have no, you know, don't have, it's ready to grow, unless you decide you're going to punch a hole in it, or you're going to do something to it. You're going to condition it to do, I don't know, to change the flavor of it. I don't know what you do. But anyway, back to the source. Your desires come from the source, comes from source, and it comes into your fertile consciousness, your fertile awareness, and it produces the object of your desire. All right. So that's basically the source. There is, and it's life. Again, it's life. It's life. Your source is life. So if there's no life, there's no desire. Right? If there's no desire, there's no life. They're one and the same. They're one and the same. Because once that energy, and again, energy is energy. Energy is energy until we transmute it, or until it germinates and it turns into something objectively. But energy is just plain old energy. And we have the power, and we have the ability, and we were given this by just by being. We have everything we need to transmute energy, the source that is desire, into an object of our desire. All right. It was just a desire. It was just a thought. It was just a word. It was just a wish when we received it. But we received it with confidence, and we received it knowing that it had everything in it to make it become part of my reality, to become my experience, to become that object. We knew that. So we began to live our life in that kind of confidence, knowing that any day now, any month now, any year now, whatever, however long it takes, I'm going to experience that relationship. I'm going to be that mother. I'm going to have that job. I'm going to take that trip. I'm going to experience better health, good health, wholeness. I'm going to have all my needs met. I'm going to have money in the bank. Whatever those objects are that I'm desiring, I know in confidence that they're going to be, because it's a seed that was given to me by source, through the life that I'm experiencing. I'm experiencing my life. I'm enjoying the life. That's part of my enjoyment. That's part of it. Desires will come and desires will go. Desires will come up, desires will go. You cannot not desire. You always desire. If you do not desire, you do not have, honestly, without desire, there's no life. Because the desire itself produces the words, the thoughts, the energy to draw into, or draw whatever that object is into your experience. All right? So life produces life. Without desire is no life. Right? Just to live. We have a desire to live. If we did not have the desire to live, we wouldn't. We wouldn't. We have a desire to be something or be somewhere where we're not currently, right? By desiring it, whatever it takes to change that situation from what we now have into to create and manifest into what we desire is already built into the wish itself, the desire itself, everything. So there is no life without desire, and there is no desire without life. So again, basically, the very source of your life is the wellspring. It's the source, it's the fountain of all your desires. All your desires come from life, come from that source energy called life. All right. Life desires to have life. Life desires to be. Life desires to be. So life gives you all the all the desire to continue to exist. And you know what? Long after the bodies are gone, life is still desiring to exist, to be. So life goes on. Like, our bodies die, but life, we are eternal beings. That energy part of us is eternal. So and that desire just, I mean, it just keeps on desiring, keeps on being, keeps on being, keeps on desiring. All right. So the source of our desire is our life, is our life. And again, our desires continually flow up and give way to one desire after another, whether that desire is satisfied or not, whether we just get the desired object or not. We're continually desiring something after something after something. That's how we manifest. Those desires motivate us, inspire us to do and to speak and to say and to act and to give thanks and to be confident that we are what we desire. We have what we desire. We experience what we desire because we know that we live. And as sure as I have life, as sure as I have life, if I have a desire, I can experience it. I can be it. I can have it. All right. All right. So, your creative energy comes from the core of who you are. That's this deep desire to express creativity, to express life, to express manifestation. It's in you. It's built in you. You cannot just, like I said, you cannot not create. You cannot not create. You will manifest because that's what you do. That's default. That's your default mechanism. That's your life. That's in your core. It's the core you. So if somebody asks you, where does my wishes come from? They come from you. They come from deep inside of you, somewhere in that subconscious. It comes from you. The desire for everything that you have in your life started with a desire from somewhere, from some part of your body, your mind, your ego, somewhere, and in you. It started as a desire, a want, a wish, a dream, right? And here you are. Here you go. But your creative energy comes from the core, and it's that deep desire to express itself. It's what moves you forward, what causes you to receive, enjoy the true desire. I may have to kind of do a session and talk a little bit about true desire as opposed to maybe a false desire. I don't know. I don't know what you call it, but there are times when we just just pop and just say anything. Okay, I think I want this. I think they're desires, but they're kind of a little bit transmuted desires, if you would, or kind of I'm going to call it polluted. Some polluted desires. They're not really truly desires, because a desire, again, a desire has absolutely everything it needs, that is needed, that's necessary. The blueprint of all of its existence is already built in it. All right. So if once you understand that and you know that and you receive that, there's no reason why every desire that you have can be satisfied. All right. But you know what? Your subconscious is connected to source, and your source knows what's best for you and what's best for the higher good. Now you have a you can you can have whatever you desire. But if you want to if you want what's good for you and what's best for you and what's then kind of fine tune that consciousness and that awareness, and basically it's just a matter of being aware. It's just that's the first step is being aware. Again, we're gonna manifest and we're gonna bring in all kind of desires and wishes and wants and stuff because that's what we do. We do it. But when we want to be deliberate and take part with, cooperate and collaborate with source itself and with one another, then it requires us to be aware. We are aware. We are awakened, aware, and conscious beings. We're but we're always being more. Absolutely every opportunity, every moment, we have an opportunity to be more aware. We have the opportunity to be more awakened. We have an opportunity to be more conscious. All right. It's called evolution. It's called evolving. It's called evolving. We grow, we grow, we grow like that lotus flower. We just kind of unfold, and it's everything about us unfolding to be more than we were 10 minutes ago or yesterday or last year. And next month, hopefully, if we continue to understand and to accept who we are, delve into who we are, and act like who we are, then we can't help but be better. We can't help but be better. All right. So remember that your source is your life. Your source of your desire is your life. And your life is it depends on it depends on desire. All right. In order to truly desire again, I'm going to repeat this. I'm going to read it. In order to truly desire, you must be connected to the creative source, which is desire, which is life. And that creative source, again, is nothing more than life itself. To desire, you must live. You can't desire if you're not living. And to live, you must desire. They're dependent on each other, totally dependent on each other. There is no life without desire, and there's no desire without life. So basically, the very source of you is the very life. That very source is life. And there's the same, it's the wellspring of all of your desires, of everything that you see in your life. Everything that you experience in your life came from source, came from that desire, that life itself produced all of this. And it's your being. I want to leave you with this thought, and it's from my manifestation guru, Neville Goddard, and I'm going to read this too. I'm going to try not to paraphrase it. I have a habit of doing that, but I'm going to try to just read it like he quoted it in his book. He says, the reason most of us fail to realize our desires is because we are constantly conditioning them. Do not condition your desire. Just accept it as it comes to you. Accept it as it comes to you. Give thanks for it to the point that you then go about your way in peace. Such acceptance of your desire is like dropping a seed, a fertile seed, into prepared soil, your consciousness. For when you can drop the thing, the seed, the desired when you can drop that desired thing into consciousness, confident that it shall appear, you have done all that is expected of you. All right. Neville Goddard said that in his book, Seed Time, if you want to read it. But be true to what and who you are. You're true co-creators. You create with each other. You create with me, with whomever. You create with creator, with source, with life, your creator. True master manifestors. That's who you are. You are aware, you're awakened, and you're conscious of who, what, and whose you are. Again, you are conscious, aware, and awakened ones who is very much conscious and aware of who, what, and whose you are. And you must be aware. You've got to be aware, because I keep telling you that you are the inheritant. You're the inheritance. You have the inheritance of all that belongs to your Father and your Creator and your source. Your life. It's your life. You have it all at your disposal. All you need to do is receive it in confidence and just wait for it to happen. Wait for the instructions of what you need to do. And if you don't get any instructions, then that means you just don't do nothing. You just wait. I don't know. Maybe somebody's gonna knock on the door and hand you that pot of gold that you wait for. Who knows how God? Who knows? Only the seed knows. Only the seed knows what's in the seed. All right. Manifest best. I'm gonna leave you with that. And I'm gonna say I look forward to seeing you next week, where we'll talk about another one of your creative powers. In the meantime, receive with great gratitude. And hey, give me a call. Let me know when it comes. All right. Remember, manifest best. And until I see you again, God loves you, and so do I. Good night.